Well, hello there, friends and family. And as you can see, we are out in Alice for just a bit. And we need to run over here to our local Family Dollar Tree combo store. Yeah, I've taken you here a time or two and showed it to you. Maybe you have one in your area. Or I know you probably got a Family Dollar. And if not, most likely a Dollar Tree. And then a Dollar General. So we ran over here to pick up a couple of things that were on sale, not much. Not even worth showing you. You know, we bought some bread too. And some milk. Just, you know, those couple of things that we need to pick up real fast. But it got me to thinking. And that's something I wanted to talk to you all about. Because there's a high possibility that these two stores right here and Dollar General soon will be no more. So let's head on back to the house, sit on the front porch with a cold drink, and let me tell you about that. Well, Spooky and Cleo, you enjoying your treats? Oh yeah, you're gobbling them up. You love those Friskies treats, don't you? That your fans send you. Yeah, you some spoiled panthers. Yes, you are. Slow down, Spooky. You're not going anywhere. Whew, it's been a long day here in my neighborhood. Well, they're enjoying them. And I'm sure if they weren't chomping down so quickly, they'd say thank you. So I'll say thank you for them too. Well, glad to have you back over here on the front porch, friends and family. And as you saw earlier, we ran into y'all while we were over making a quick dash into our Family Dollar and Dollar Tree combo store that I've taken you to a couple of times. And don't know if you have one. It's rather unique. One side encompassing all, you know, the products like food, laundry detergent, snacks, drinks, you know, all that grocery stuff that you would find in your grocery or maybe big box store is on the Family Dollar side. And then on the Dollar Tree side is all that, you know, $1.25 stuff, which used to be $1, but now it's $1.25, and now sometimes $1.50, $1.75, $2, $3, $7 or more. But while I was in there roaming around, just relaxing a bit in the AC from spending most of today out here working on the yard in a beautiful 75-degree light breeze, was once again, and I can't believe we're having this long streak of clear blue skies. As you can see, when we're over at Dollar Tree and right here sitting on the front porch. But it got me to thinking about something. Because I keep up with the many news articles from many sources and a lot of social media too. Because I like to be informed. I don't like to be blindsided. And I think we're all aware of what's all going on. But there's a special circumstance with Family Dollar and Dollar Tree. Back in March, Dollar Tree, which is the parent corporation for Family Dollar. At one point in time, they used to be separate. But back in 2015, Dollar Tree bought Family Dollar for $8.5 billion. Well, back in March of this year, they announced the sale, selling off Family Dollar for $1 billion, selling it for $7.5 billion loss. Yep, they are, to two private equity firms. And you can look all this up to check old Mr. Tom out. And like I say, I like to be aware of these situations because I know many of you shop at Dollar Tree. If you have a Family Dollar, probably shop there. And of course, Dollar General. But the reason I said, you know, Family Dollar and Dollar Tree are not going to be anymore, well, of course, Family Dollar being sold off, who knows what's going to happen to it. They're closing stores. And of course, my little store here, it'll have to change to either just a Dollar Tree, which makes me wonder if all the food items, grocery items, cleaning supplies, paper towel, all that kind of stuff that's also in the grocery store will go away because that's on the Family Dollar side. The Dollar Tree was just all that, stuff that Dollar Tree's famous for. Cheap Chinese junk. I rarely buy any of that unless it's going to be a disposable thing, or I just need, something that, I'm not going to use very often, and it don't matter. I don't buy anything I want to use a lot, like knives or silverware plates. Not that, if you want to, you can. I have everything I need. But it made me think, as I was wandering through there, what's going to happen to places like Dollar Tree, Family Dollar, Dollar General, and to some extent it's going to affect even the big boys, Walmart, Amazon. And why is that? Like I said, it's pretty hard to avoid what's going on in America and now around the world. And that's, in one word, the tariffs that are being applied. And in my mind, I've never seen anything like it during my lifetime. I'm not sure how it's all going to wash out. Don't have no crystal ball. But I do know somebody's got to pay the price. And I do know this. And here again, you can look all this up. Don't depend on, a talking mouth to tell you what it is, because sometimes, or most times now, I find social media has an underlying agenda that drives what they say, and it may or may not be factual or the truth. I don't have agendas that I pursue. I'm not a political person. I'm just trying to get through life the best I can. I can't affect any of what's going on in our government or the world to any extent. I just can't. So I don't worry about all that. But what I do worry is about what's happening and the effect it'll have on me and my life here on my little piece of property in the deep south of Alabama. And I do know that these tariffs will eventually, should they all stand as they are, will have a great impact, possibly on my life too. Because in the modern global trade that now spans the entire globe, all of our lives are impacted by global trade. Now, they weren't so much, if at all, back when we were growing up. Why? Because American made everything, absolutely, that we used. No, we had to import spices and stuff of that nature. Things that just weren't here. But overall, everything from your shoelaces to the hat on top of you to everything in your house, everything it took to build it, everything it took to build our appliances, whether they were countertop or big ticket items, our TVs, our radios, everything was built right here. And of course, that all started to go away in the early 80s. I know, because for a little while, I participated in that with a company I was working with. And I didn't like what I saw. I expressed my opinions on what they were doing. Didn't change anything, as we can all see. And I went ahead and resigned my position there. And I have not been involved in moving anything out of this country since. The whole thrust of my job and what I do with companies in America has been to keep them here as a process engineer. Increasing efficiencies, making things better. Yeah, that was my job. But back to Dollar Tree, Family Dollar, and Dollar General. And why I said there's a high likelihood they won't be here anymore. And why is that? It's because of these tariffs. The tariffs started out as 5%, then they went to 10, then they went to 20, they went to reciprocal. Then, as far as China's concerned, they went to 125%. And now, as of this week, they're at 245%. Think about that. And somebody's got to pay that. And it don't take a 30-second search to understand. China's not the one that's going to pay. No. The exporting country does not pay the tariff to the importing country. No. And I know that for a fact because I bought things from overseas and I've had to pay the tariff, or what is commonly called the duty. And if you've traveled internationally and brought things back that you have bought, you're supposed to declare them as you're coming back through customs. And if indeed some of those items had a tariff or duty, as it's called in the airports, you had to pay that to bring them in. And we've all seen, if you traveled any by air, especially at international airports, they always have a duty-free store where if you're leaving that country from that airport that has a duty-free store, you can go in there, buy those items, knowing that when you get to your destination country, you won't have to pay a duty on them when you enter. Yeah, just a little background there. You probably all know all about this, but I've traveled a lot. And I like to buy things and bring them home. You know, like for the kids, the wife, other relatives and what have you, you know, returning gifts. Used to be a custom. I'm not sure if people do that anymore, but once upon a time we did. If we went away and came back, we always tried to bring a little bit back with us for the ones we loved. But back to the tariffs. So now, China's got 245% tariffs against them. There's no way any company can possibly absorb it. It's impossible. There's no way. So somebody's got to pay it, and like I say, that's the importing country. So all this stuff that Dollar Tree gets, Family Dollar, Dollar General gets from China, that they import from China, will now, at some point in time, be costing them 245% more. And I think we can all agree Dollar Tree, Family Dollar, and Dollar General can't possibly absorb that increase. So they're going to have to raise prices. And it ain't going to go up 10, 20%. They're going to pass that 245% increase along to who? Our customers. Yeah. So instead of the Dollar Tree being a $1.25 store, as it is now, for a lot of things, not all, it will now be the $3.06 store, basically. Maybe they'll eat the 6 cents and they'll just be the $3 and up store. But you know what that's going to do to the stores. Because will I go over there unless I absolutely have to buy anything anymore? Well, the obvious answer to that, my friends and family, is no. I won't. I won't visit it at all. So what that's going to mean for companies like Dollar Tree, Family Dollar, Dollar General, and like I say, I'm thinking it's going to really impact Walmart a lot. Amazon, it's going to impact them the same. They may survive and they may not, but I'm thinking for the dollar stores, it's just a matter of time before the closed forever sign goes on the door. Now they have inventory in the States. They have warehouses. They may have stuff already sitting on the docks waiting to be unloaded. But at some point in time, the newer goods coming in from China will arrive. What I'm hearing is a lot of ships are being turned back. The people who were importing, and the different companies and that, are canceling orders. Now all I can go on is what's being reported. You know, I watch a channel called, you know, I think it's what's going on in shipping or what's up in shipping. I don't know the exact title off the top of my head. And he is very knowledgeable. He worked in the industry till he retired. Yeah. And he knows about all that way better than I do. And he was reporting on that today, right here on YouTube. Container ships are being turned around, or they're just not leaving port anymore. So not as the fact that, everything would go up 245%, but these companies are already seeing that probably is not going to happen. The American people just aren't going to pay it. I'm thinking that's about what we'll see. And like I said, I have no bone in this fight, and I don't want any of this back and forth in the comments about, how you like this or how you like that now. That's just childish. Yeah. What we all have to deal with, regardless of who's doing what, is the reality of the actions. That's what I deal with, regardless of who's doing it. But that's really been on my mind more and more here of late, because like I said, I depend on, or was, in shopping Dollar Tree for their sales. Yeah, won't be much of that anymore. Along with going to Superfoods and Walmart. And I'm thinking most of you do just that too. So what can we do? Well, we still got a little time before inventory that's here in the U.S. is used up. How much time we got? I don't know how many days of inventory any of these stores keep on hand here in the States. But if you're thinking, especially a major purchase, not necessarily, Dollar Tree and Family Dollar and Dollar General, but a major purchase. Like you were looking at a new TV, appliances, countertop appliances, all of that. Or possibly a new car. You might want to put a lot of thought into going ahead and pulling the trigger on that. I don't know. I don't need any of that. I know people right here on social media are buying spare things, like spare air conditioners, freezers, and what have you. No, that's out of the realm of possibility for Mr. Tom. It'd be nice to have a spare of everything in my house, spare refrigerator, spare freezer, spare air conditioners, spare computers, cameras, because the one I'm holding, made in China, GoPro. Maybe pick up a backup cell phone. The majority of them, of course, are made in China. I mean, we all walk through our house, microwaves, our toaster ovens, mixers, blenders, air fryers. Think about everything that's made in China. And if this all goes on through and becomes our reality, think about that purchase you were, on the fence about, and what it'll cost you if this all happens to be. That's what I'm thinking about. That's all we can do. But as far as food and that, nah, I'm not stocking up on that. We produce enough food to feed America. Yeah, we might do, without some specialty things. But hey, growing up, we didn't have a lot of those things no way. But we all survived. So I was just wondering, what, are you making any plans? Have you made any decisions or changed what you're stocking up on, or what purchases you're thinking about buying here in quick time based on all these tariffs and all of this that's coming about? Let me know in the comments below the video. And like I say, we don't need any of, the disparity in the comments. We all know who's doing what. We always know who's doing what. Every administration. I can't believe people, got to feel special and bring all that. It don't matter. It's happening. You can't never take back what you've done back in time once decisions are made. All we can do is hope and pray. This doesn't last long. It all goes back to the way it was. But it's going to be an interesting year. That is my prediction. You'll see. One way or the other. It's going to be an interesting year. But let me know your thoughts. Because, yep, I'm all wore out. I'm going to head on in. And I'm thinking about making up some lovely grub. You know, I think I'll have some Mexican-inspired dish tonight. Ain't going to be much. I'm thinking one of my favorites. It's so easy to make. I think I'll make a couple of burrito supremes. Yeah, won't take long. And if you would, and you'd like to, let me know what you're having for supper tonight, wherever you may be. So y'all, until I see y'all in that next video and the episode of Mr. Tom's Neighborhood, y'all take care. Stay safe out there, and may God bless you all as you bless those in your lives. You know we love you for stopping by. Goodbye for now. Spooky. You relaxing? Catching a little rays before the sun sets? Oh, you just all tuckered out. Well, you made short work of those treats, you and Cleo did. It would have been nice if you left something for your buddy Fluffy Muffin. You'll know he'll be by later. Yeah. You didn't leave anything for Fluffy. You know he stops by in the afternoon. I think we embarrassed him. Oh. Are you embarrassed, Spooky? Yep. I guess he hasn't had enough rays. He's gonna lay down. Later all.